Hello, hello. Why is my camera so high? Eh. Come on. I gotta figure that out at some point. It's like all weird. Hello, hello. Happy Halloween. How is everybody doing? I know that being Halloween, the turnout for tonight will be a toss-up, but hopefully we'll get a decent turnout. So as always, we'll give it a few minutes, let people filter in. And then we will get this thing going. And of course, with it being Halloween, today's also our wedding anniversary. But Angela had to work today. She has to work tomorrow, and we need the monies. So I'm still here doing the sale.
And you forgot Sunday.
Sunday doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with our anniversary.
I know.
Thank you. Silver anniversary? No. Isn't a silver anniversary like 50 years? I'm not even that old.
I don't know.
25? Could be. I don't know. No, come December 1st, we will have been together as a whole for 25 years. But marriage-wise, this is our 11th anniversary of actually being married.
It's 25.
Okay, so December 1st, I guess, will be our silver anniversary of being together, just in a relationship.
No, it's for weddings.
But for weddings, we're only at 11. So 14 more years.
And then gold is at 50.
Gold's at 50.
Yep.
Hey, I'll consider it good if we live long enough to make it to 50 years of marriage. Considering that would be, what, 39 more years? So I would be 88.
55 is emerald.
I got 5 people on. Hopefully we get a few more. Hey, Wayne. 37th at the end of the year. Awesome. Yeah, my parents just had their 65th wedding anniversary. That's pretty crazy. Indeed. Greyhound Imperial Walker. Bungle in the jungle. So enough about us. How's everybody else doing? Thumbs up. Hey, Fino. Surprised you weren't here last week, Danny Dave. You missed a good one. Sitting in the dark hiding from trick-or-treaters. We don't really get any here. We actually had candy last year. We only got like 2 people. Trick-or-treating is not what it once was when we were kids. Your couch blocks your living room door, so it's not convenient for Halloween. Sounds like it. Hey, West Side. All right, one more minute, and then we'll get the beginning stuff out the way. Who is the one monster killer entity that got them the most? I never really was afraid of any movie monsters. Of course, you also got to realize I'm Gen X, so I was a child. The thing that scared the piss out of us when I was a child was when they came out with the movie, what was it, The Day After? So, nuclear war was what we were afraid of. We spent our childhood knowing that in 30 minutes, we're either going to be vaporized or we're not. So nuclear weapons were our monster. We had those stupid little videos that we had to watch in school of, oh, in the case of a nuclear war, get under your desk and put your head between your legs. It's like, yeah, that's not going to help. That is going to do nothing. Unless those desks are made out of 3 feet of lead, they're not going to help. I was born in 76. All right, let's get the beginning stuffs out the way. For anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com. Use goods and services only, please. If you use Cash App, it will say Louis Gutierrez. That's me. You are in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being a little purple bubble mailer, $23 being a large flat rate box. Hey, Richard. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 on top of that. It is the only way you can insure coins all the way through the mail, and if you have it sent registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. So keep that in mind. New buyers, you are able to get stuff tonight. You just have to email us by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, so we know who you are, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payment. Oh, sorry for coughing in your ears. Also, make sure you look down in our description for the rest of our rules and policies. Here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do post the lot list up there every time we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list a day or two before every sale, and as soon as that lot list hits your email, you do have the ability to pre-purchase items. Keep in mind, it's first come, first serve, just like the sales. So if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. I do not charge for pre-purchases right away. I wait till the end of the sale, and I invoice everybody together. And then always keep in mind that unless you work it out with us up front, then we'll be in and out, have to pass out candy. All good. It is that day. Also keep in mind that unless you work things out with us ahead of time, that you do only have 7 days to get your payment in. If you do need longer, just make sure you communicate with us. We're always willing to work with you guys. We know some of you are on like fixed incomes and weird paydays and all that fun stuff. So, Wayne, you were born in 62. You're a boomer. Three years before Gen X. All right, let's get this thing going. All right, kicking off with World Banknotes as always. Oh, actually, I do still have some of these in. If anybody's been needing airtights, these are the universal airtights. They can hold anything from a dime to a silver eagle. You get, it's 10 of them for $5. I have eight of them left available. So if anybody needs some airtights, 10 for $5. If anybody wants all 8 bags, I'll give you a better deal. So anybody need airtights? Your next door neighbor's over a half-mile away. Must be nice. That's what we're hoping for someday, is to have our next door neighbor be like
3 miles away.
as far away as possible.
10 miles. 10 miles.
Anybody, airtights, last call. If anybody wants all 8 bags, I'll do all 8 bags for $32. It makes you $4 each. All right. Oh, and we do still have PCGS boxes if anybody needs a slab box. We've got 3 blacks and 3 blues. And those are $10 each. If anybody needs one, let me know. All right. First banknote. We actually have 2 of these available. These are 1953 10 won from South Korea. They are $2 each. Well, it's $4 each if you get all 8 bags. If you get 1 bag, it's $5. Anybody? $2 each. All right, moving on. Next up is a 1992 1000 Posada from Spain. I dropped the price on this one for this week. Originally it was $4. I dropped it to $2 for this week. So take advantage. Get it at a better price. An interesting design. Going to Wayne. Congrats, Wayne. Right. Next up. This one I've got 3 available. And I also dropped the price on these for this week. They were 4. I'm doing them this week for $2 each. These are 1992 to 1998 design. $5 from New Zealand. $2 a piece. With the penguin. I'm not even sure. These might still be monetized. Let me see real quick. Our 1992 $5 banknotes from New Zealand still monetized. They are. Everything except for $1 and $2 notes of the old ones, the pre-polymer. Everything else is still legal tender in New Zealand. So let's see real quick. New Zealand dollar to US dollar. One New Zealand dollar is $5 or 57 cents. So all right, so just the transfer rate alone on these is $2.86. So I'm selling these today for below transfer rate. You can literally just go deposit these in your bank and you would make a profit.
As long as your bank does it.
Most of them do for banknotes.
Not all.
Anybody? Wow, nobody. Even though they're under the transfer rate. All right, moving on. There's no love for banknotes tonight at all, I guess. All right, last ones. We have 4 available. These are the 1910 Red Seal 1000 marks from Germany. These are the big ones. Not as big as the gigantic old Russian notes, but we have to store them in page protectors. Well, it's like a half a page protector to fit these. So these are going for $5 each. If anybody wants all 4, I'll do them for $4 each if you get all 4. So $16 if you get all 4. Oops. Put that in chat real quick. Or 16 for all 4. There we go. Anybody? And Richard's taking that deal. Congrats, sir.
Congrats, Richard.
Yep, if you get all 4, you're getting them for the $4 each. So Richard's getting all 4 for $16. Alrighty. Oh, Richard, am I invoicing you for the other money from last week this week, or am I doing it next week? Give me a quick reminder. All right, next up. This week is fine? Okay. I'll do it. I'm going to do it as two separate PayPals, though. Your stuff that you get tonight will be one, and then that money will be the other. So this is a bundle of 25 pre-1900s world coins. Over 15 bucks, so less than $1 a coin. South Korea, what about them? Did you want the 2 South Korea notes? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay, you got it. South Korea banknotes going to Richard. You want the New Zealand ones too? I'm selling New Zealand ones for less than what you can take it to your bank for transfer. Alright, so check this out, guys. This is pretty cool. You're going to get an 1888 1 centavo Mexico. Ah, as everything's falling apart. 1887, 1 centavo Mexico. 1892, 10 centimes Tunisia. 1891, 5 centimes Dominican Republic, or centésimos. 1861, 5 centesimo for Italy, or centimes. 1880, 1 centavo Mexico. 1890, 1 centavo Mexico. 1894, 2 Heller Austria. 1881, 1 Cruiser Austria.
Going to Richard.
And this one's going to Richard. I'll show you the rest of them. 1851A, 1 Cruiser Austria. 1885, 1 Cruiser Austria. 1894, 20 Lepta from Greece. 1882A, 10 Lepta from Greece. 1878, 5 Lepta from Greece. 1870, 10 centavos from Spain. Or centésimos, or whatever Spain's are. 1882, 10 Rappen, Switzerland. 1882, 5 Rappen, Switzerland. 1881, 1 Cruiser from Hungary. 1890A, 5 Finnick, Germany. 1893D, 5 Finnick from Germany. 1875C, 5 Finnick, Germany. 1876, 10 Finnick, Germany. 1874A, 2 Finnick, Germany. 1854, 5 centimes, France. And 1887A, 1 Finnick, Germany. You're very welcome, sir. A pretty cool bundle. Alrighty. World Silver time. I want to let everybody know World Silver is probably going to have less lots every week for a little while. The reason being because since we have the much higher silver prices now, I am trying to be way more selective of what I get. You know, I don't want to end up with, you know, sitting on $1,000 worth of, you know, Britain and Mexico that you guys already all have. So, trying to be a little more selective. So, first one up is 1966 pence Australia, 50% silver, BU. Going for $8. Nice, beautiful luster. Anybody? Going to West Side. Congrats, sir. All right, next up. I managed to get some more of these because we had more people last week that wanted these, but I only had one of each. So since I had the ability this week, I grabbed some more. The 1965 francs from France, AU. 83.5 silver. Same price as last week, $28. Let me get down a little bit closer on that. Focus. There we go. So I know we had some more people that wanted these last week, so take advantage while I got them. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1962 AU, $28. Oh, yeah, these things are really nice. All right, moving on to the 1963 AU, $28. Hey, Greg. All right, moving on. And then I got two of these available, these 64s. Both are AU and 28 bucks each. Do a little Halloween deal for you guys. If anybody wants one of all 4 years, I'll do it for 100 bucks. That makes them 25 bucks each. Saves you $12. So that's 60, 62, 63, and 64. Anybody? And for anybody wondering, melt value on these right this second is $15.70 each. All right, moving on. Anybody decide you want those, let me know. All right, next up, we got one coin from Austria. It is a 1972 10 shilling AU. NGC list on this coin is 48 bucks. I'm doing it for 18. And camera is not doing this coin justice. This thing looks way better in hand. Hey, Moosox. Anybody? I don't know why it looks so weird on this camera. See if there's any better. There you go. So you can see it a little better. So the only wear on it is a little bit on the very, very top high points on the hair. And that slight bit on the shield. And going to Fino. Gratzer. All right, next up, Canada. All right, the 1913 5 cent and the 1898 10 cent both went in pre-sale. I should have stayed on scope for a minute. So next, we are kicking off with a key date. This is the 1940 10 cent from Newfoundland, Canada. 925 sterling silver BU. Only 100,000 of these were minted. NGC list at Mint State 60 is $100. This would go higher than a 60 in my opinion. I'm doing it for $50. These things are getting tough to get a hold of. Anybody? Those bit of light streaks that you're seeing are on the flip, not the coin. Going to Richard Gratzer. All right, next up. Been a while since I've gotten a hold of one of these. Quite possibly the most popular dollar in the entire Canada dollar series. The 1958 Death Dollar. 80% silver BU, $38. And that's why it's called the Death Dollar, because it's got the death totem on the back. Anybody? Yeah, you're lucky you got it that price, Richard, because I was sitting there for like 20 minutes asking myself, should I really put it that low? But I was like, might as well. I'll do 35 for you, Wayne. Going to Wayne for 35. Congrats, And the next one up is $35. This is the 1967, the Goose. So that's actually toning. The camera's not wanting to see it. Let me see if I can get it under the scope and let you see it. Sorta. Yeah, that's actually all color toning. This thing's basically a proof like. But it is the Goose. BU's got some cool toning on it. It looks, you can definitely tell it in hand that it's toning. Looks weird under the camera for some reason. This one's going for 35. Still never been able to find the diving goose. If you can ever get a hold of one of those things are really valuable. Yeah, no matter what angle I put it at, doesn't matter. Light is just weird on it right now. All right, moving on. If you ever decide you want that, let me know. All right, next up, it is not often we get a World Silver Rick Snow special, but we have one tonight. I'm amazed this thing actually made it through pre-sale. This is the 1916 BC 20 Kopek from Russia. 50% silver, choice AU, graded by Mr. Rick Snow himself. Over 18 bucks. Anybody? Going to Fino. Congrats, sir. All right, next up, we got a few from Mexico. All right, first one, I got two available. You do not often see these looking like this. These are the 1967 1 peso. These are the 10%ers, but these are BUs. And again, the camera's wanting to be dumb. These actually do have full luster. One going to Wayne. Anybody on the second one? See if I can show a little better under the scope. Yeah, under the scope you can sort of see the luster as it goes by. And it's got some color toning going on. Hey, Jetmac. Thank you, sir. All right, last call on this one, $6. Uncirculated. All right, moving on. And then next up, I've got two of these available. These are the 1977 100 pesos. These are both BUs. And they're 38 bucks each. That's apparently something that got in there with it. Little debris. Anybody? So current melt on these nowadays. Let me see. As of right this second. $31.34 just in melt. If anybody wants both, I'll do both for 70. Saves you $6 if you get both. All right, we are moving on. Anybody decide you want any in the Mexico, let me know. All right, next up, we got an oldie. This is our one coin from India this week. It is an 1892 to Anna. 92.7% silver. Where's the coin? There it is. And this one's going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. Yeah, if you had time to type too late after that, it was definitely too late. All right, next up, I have a feeling this one probably confused some people when they saw it on the list. All right, so this is 1985 $20 coin from British Columbia. It was part of a 25 coin set that had each coin featured a different thing that was part of a sunken ship treasure finds. This coin was number 2 of the set. And it was showing the brass medallion that they found. A religious medallion. It's 925 sterling silver proof decam and going for $35. And this one's going to Wayne. Congrats, sir. All right, and then our last coin for World Silver this week is a mint error. Well, it'd be a mint variety, not an error. This is the 1959 500 Lyre Italy. 83.5% silver BU. But it's got the date on the edge is doubled. So this is a double die. So NGC list for this coin without doubling, $98. I'm doing it for 60, which is still below normal list, and it's got the doubling, which I will show you here in just a second. Did I ever have that set? I don't remember ever having that set. It's very possible. Alright. There's the date. Let me get closer on it so you can actually see it. All right, there you go. Double struck date. Pretty decent spread on that, too. Anybody? Well, hey, at least you can say you have the whole set. What size comparison? Well. Here's a $50. Here's that coin. So basically, pretty much almost exactly the size as a $50. But having a double die on it, that makes it a dang good deal for that coin. And this is going to Dandy Dave Gratzer. All right, American coinage. All right, so both of the 1950 or the 1858 Flying Eagles went in pre-sale. But we do still have the 57. So 1857 Flying Eagle. It's in a good, going for 22 bucks. Why can't I get a hold of this thing? There we go. Ours is more like a VG. Yeah, I might have actually undergraded this thing. This thing might be a VG. Anybody? I have nobody. All right, moving on. That's surprising. All right, next up, Indians. Actually gonna go scope for these. Back up. Focus. There. All right, very, very first year of the Indians, the 1859. This one's in a good for $10. These are the old Cuppernickels, planchets. Anybody? Going to Wayne. Congrats, sir. All right, next one only has estimated 1,200 survival in all grades. This is the 1860 pointed bust. This one's in a VG for $35. So you got the pointed bust and you got the rounded bust. This one's the pointed. Anybody? It's actually got a little bit of diamond definition still. None of them are completely full, but you can definitely see the outline of a couple of them, which is pretty cool. All right, moving on. All right, and then I've also got, I have 3 of these available. One is a VG, 2 are in good. These are 1863. VG is $15, and then the 2 goods are $8 each. So here's the VG. Kind of got that dark toning going on. But that's got almost full liberty. And then here's good number 1. And here is good number 2. Anybody on these? And again, the VG's got the dark, a little bit of dark toning going on. It's making it harder to get it lit up. All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want any Indians, let me know. Next up, Wheaties. Had some of these last week, or might have been a couple of weeks ago, but I have some more in today. I have 2 of everything. I'm just going to link these all. So 54D. They're all $5 a piece. Plain date. And San Francisco. They're all Gem BU Reds. 55 Denver, plain date in San Francisco. '56 Denver and plain date. '57 Denver and plain date. And of course 58 Denver and plain date. So again, I have 2 of each. So 54S. Here's number 2. Bundle deal for all of them? I can do a bundle for every single one of them if you wanted every single one. That'd be... There's 24 coins. So let's see, 24 times 5 would have been $120. I could do it for 96 for all of them. $24 off, be making $4 each. You got it, sir. Congrats to Adam Jam. By the way, for anybody on the mailing list, don't be afraid to ask me about bundles and things of that nature, even via email. You are allowed to. All right, let me get these all changed and get his name on all of these. Alrighty. Congrats. Next up, go over $2. 2006 S Lincoln Cent Proof. Nice little decam for $2. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, this next one, I do have some wiggle room on this one if anybody wants to make an offer. This is an 1852 3-cent. It is the silver 3-cent. It's in a good, but it's counter stamped. So even price as in an about good would be $40. And it's like a different language that it's stamped in, which is interesting. It's almost like runic. In fact, I think that is runic. But if anybody wants to make an offer on it, I do have some wiggle room on it for an offer. I'll go 35 on it, Adam Jim. Going to Adam Jim for 35. Who knows? Maybe you can figure out a way to translate it and see what it says. All right, next couple of coins are some Rick Snow specials. Going back to the very beginning of the Jefferson nickel era. You got a 1938 Denver. Choice uncirculated. In Rick Snow lingo, choice uncirculated means it would get at least a 64. My camera tilted. There we go. Anybody, 18 bucks. All right, moving on. All right, and then also the 1938 San Francisco Jim BU. Going for 35. Graded by Rick Snow. If anybody wants both, I'll do both as a set. For 45. Saves you $8 if you get it as a set. Wow, nobody. All right. Moving on. All right, the 1950D went in pre-sale, so we are on the 2006 proof for $2. This is the last year of the Return to Monticello. And going to Wayne. Congrats, sir. It's also the first year that featured the bus looking right at you.
I'm gonna hug. I love you.
Lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep well.
I'll try. Bye, everybody.
All right, if anybody decides you want those 1938s, let me know. All right, next up. It's very rare when I ever get these in. Only 1,500 survival all grades left on this one. 1833 Cat Bus Dime. It's in a good for $50. That is an awesome coin right there. Anybody? There's got to be somebody that'd like to add that to their collection. And nobody. All right, moving on. All right, 2006 Roosevelt Proof went in pre-sale, so we are on another Rick Snow coin. 1898 barber quarter. Graded by Rick and Fine, 35 bucks. Going to Moosock, Scratzer. M. Alrighty. Next up, got some silver proof quarters. These are the state quarters. Prices on these are going up, as you can imagine, because of the silver prices. The price on the entire proof sets has gone up by 20 bucks. So these are the 2006s. South Dakota, Nebraska, North Dakota, Nevada, and Colorado. 90% silver proof decams. Or 60 bucks for the set. You get the full set, you save 10 bucks. So there's your South Dakota. Again, these are all 90% silver proofs. So what is the quarter silver price right at this second? So melt on a 90% quarter right now is $8.81. So times that by 5. Melt value alone on this set is $44.05. So that's where we're at right now with silver quarters. There's your Nebraska. North Dakota. Here's your Nevada. And Colorado. Anybody on these? All right, moving on. All right, 1968S Kennedy went in pre-sale. So the next item, I have 5 of these available. For anybody who doesn't know, in 1982 and 1983, the mints did not produce mint sets. The only sets that they had were the sets that you had to go to the mint and do the tour. And then you could get the souvenir sets. So it was only those or what went out for circulation. So these are 1983 Denver Kennedys, Jim B. Hughes. There's 5 available at 15 bucks each. Or choice BUs, sorry, not gem. Choice BUs. And those are graded actually by Rick. It's just because I bought 5 of them, they weren't in his holders. He just had them in a tube. Let me fix that real quick. It's supposed to say choice BU, not gem. There. Now it's corrected. So anybody? 5 available. If anybody wants all 5, I'll do $10 off of it. So that'd be $65 instead of 75. So make them $13 each. Should be the lowest I could go without losing money. All right, moving on. All right, last lot of the night. It's the 2006 90% silver proof Kennedy. Over $22. Proof decam. So just the melt alone on a $half right now, the 90% silver $half is $17.62. So, all right, I'll leave that on camera while we start the recap. All right, banknotes. We still got the only banknotes left are the New Zealand's, the New Zealand $5 notes. At $2 a piece, which is less than what you could take them to the bank and do the conversion for. The conversion rate on them is like $2.56 each. Or something like that. When we did them early in the stream, we actually went and looked it up. All right, and then World Silver. All of the France 5 francs are still available. They're all AUs at $28 each, and then I did a deal if anybody wanted one of each year, which is 1960, 62, 63, and 64, then I would do it for $100, which saves you $8. It makes them, or saves you $12, makes them $25 each. And then Canada, the 1967 dollar. Mexico, one of the 1967 1 peso BUs, both the 77 100 peso BUs. That's it. So anybody on any of the world silver? Have a good night, Wayne. All right, American coins. The 1857 Flying Eagle is still available. The cat bust dime, 1860 pointed bust. Or sorry, this is Indians, not cat bust. Bah, I'm losing my place. 1857 Eagle is still available. Okay, and then Indians. 1860 pointed bust is still available. And all three of the 1863s are still available. Anybody on the Indians? All right, 2006 Lincoln Proof. Both the 1938 Jeffersons, and I did the deal on those. The bundle for $45 if anybody wanted both. So 38 Denver, 38 San Francisco. 38 Denver's Choice BU, San Francisco's Gem BU. They're in Rick Snow holders. The 1833 Cat Bust Diamond Good is still available. The Silver State Quarters and the 83 Kennedys. And then, of course, the one under the camera. So anybody on anything else? If you missed it and want to see it, if you want to see it again to see if you want it, take advantage of any of the bundles. All right. I'm going to get out of here then. Oh, and then, of course, if anybody wanted airtights or the PCGS slab boxes, I've still got those. But, all right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. As always, give me a little bit to get the invoices together and out. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your Halloween. And I will see you guys next time.